श्याम बिहारी प्रभु ने बहुत सुंदर जय जय श्री को गाया। सॉरी मैं म्यूट था, मैं बोले जा रहा था, लेकिन अभी मैंने रियलाइज किया मैं म्यूट हो रखा था। तो दीदी आप हिंदी में बोलेंगे कि इंग्लिश में? ओके तो अभी हमारी प्यारी शशिकला दीदी गुरुदेव के लिए कुछ अपनी मधुर स्मृतियां बोलेंगी। इनके बारे में थोड़ा बता दूं, आप सभी लोग वैसे जानते हैं शशिकला दीदी बहुत पुरानी है। इन्होंने 1977 में प्रभुपाद जी से हरिनाम लिया 11 नवंबर 1977 न्यू मायापुर में, और उसके 3 दिन बाद ही प्रभुपाद जी संसार छोड़ के चले गए थे 14 नवंबर 1977। तो तब से जुड़ी हुई हैं। वैसे फ्रांस की रहने वाली हैं और इन्होंने बहुत सारी सेवाएं की इस्कॉन में रह के। ये पेरिस की हेड पुजारी थी वहां पे पेरिस में इस्कॉन में 1993 में, और फिर ये वृंदावन आई उस समय, और इन्होंने श्यामा रानी दीदी से मुलाकात की जिन्होंने इनको गुरुदेव तक पहुंचाया। इनकी दीक्षा 1996 में हुई महाराज जी से जगन्नाथपुरी में। उसके बाद महाराज जी ने इनको आदेश दिया कि वृंदावन आके रहें, और तभी से ये वृंदावन रह रही हैं। करीब 25-26 साल हो गए हैं। और यही एक है जिनको कि भारतीय नागरिकता मिल चुकी है। अभी ये भारतीय नागरिक हैं। शी इज इंडियन सिटीजन नाउ विद ग्रेट डिफिकल्टी। आई थिंक शी ट्राइड रियली हार्ड फॉर 4-5 years, 4-5 साल मेहनत करके अब ये भारतीय नागरिक बन चुकी हैं, क्योंकि ये कहती हैं कि मैं यहीं से धाम में ही अपना शरीर छोड़ना चाहती हूँ। इसलिए इनकी ऐसे धाम निष्ठा है। और इनको आप अनेक सेवाओं में देख सकते हैं। जो जो लोग परिक्रमा में जाते हैं उनको पता है कि ये करीब 5 आज से 10-15 साल पहले या 20 साल पहले हमेशा इनके हाथ में एक मृदंग रहता था और एक करताल रहती थी, और जहां भी इनको देखोगे कीर्तन जोर जोर से करते हुए नजर आएंगे, महामंत्र बोलते रहेंगे और जोर जोर से कीर्तन करते रहेंगे। गुरु जी इनको प्यार से कभी कभी पगली भी बोलते थे, क्योंकि हर समय कीर्तन करती रहती थी नॉन स्टॉप। और जहां भी किसी को देखेंगे या तो प्रसाद देंगी या कुछ और देंगी। इन्होंने हमें भी गुरु बहुत सारी चीजें दी हैं, और प्रसाद तो अक्सर देती रहती हैं। गुरुदेव के बहुत सुंदर इन्होंने सॉक्स मुझे गिफ्ट किए थे पर्सनली, तो जो मेरे पास अभी भी मैं अपने साइड बैग में रखता हूँ। तो थैंक यू दीदी फॉर दैट। आपका बहुत धन्यवाद कि आपने गुरुदेव के सॉक्स वगैरह हैं जिनके गुरुदेव की कृपा दी। और जहां भी दिल्ली भी आती हैं तो किसी को या बुक्स देती हैं या फिर कुछ प्रसाद। बुक्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में बहुत ही माहिर हैं, हमेशा कोई ना कोई बुक साथ में लेके चलती हैं और लोगों को देती रहती हैं। तो आज हम इनसे सुनेंगे कैसे इनका जीवन था गुरुजी से मिलने से पहले पेरिस में, जिसको कि हम फैशन कैपिटल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड कहते हैं पेरिस को। हम सब पेरिस जाने के लिए लालायित रहते हैं, लेकिन ये छोड़ के इन्होंने भारतीय नागरिकता ली है। उन पेरिस को हमेशा के लिए इन्होंने गुड बाय कह दिया, अलविदा कह दिया है। तो आज हम इनसे सुनेंगे कि कैसी इनकी जर्नी रही गुरुदेव से मिलने के बाद और मिलने के पहले, कैसे मिले, उनके बाद जीवन में क्या क्या परिवर्तन आए, और कैसे अभी इनका जीवन आनंदमय चल रहा है। हरी बोल। दीदी आप शुरू कर सकते हैं। यस यू कैन स्टार्ट प्लीज दीदी। आई कांट हियर यू। वेट।
चक्षुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै सुपदया राधिकया प्रियत्मने शिशिमाद् भक्तिवेदान्ता नारायणीति नामिने नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवणे प्रचलिने निर्विशिष्ट शून्यवदि पाश्चात्यादि शतरणे वांछाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पवनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। भक्त्या विहीना पराधलक्षये सिद्धास्तमधितराङ्गमदे कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना विन्दे नमस्ते शरणारविन्दम्। त्रिनादपि सुनिचिनातरोरिवसैष्णुना मनिना मनदिना कीर्तनया सदा हरि हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। You please forgive me, I cannot speak in Hindi.
Okay.
It's very difficult, no?
Okay, that's fine.
इतना अधिकारी नहीं है इसको, तो मेरे को मेरे माफ करना कि मैं हिंदी बोलते नहीं सकता हूँ कभी कभी बीच में, लेकिन पूरा बात तो इंग्लिश तो मेरे को बेहतर है।
लेकिन दीदी हिंदी समझती पूरा है, बोल चाहे बोले कम लेकिन समझती पूरा है।
लेकिन बोलते तो आ गया नहीं।
ठीक है।
So before anything, I offer my countless, most grateful obeisances at the Lord's feet of my Gurudev, Nitya Leela Pravishtam Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Gosvami Maharaj. The same amount of most grateful obeisances to my Harinam Gurudev, Nitya Leela Pravishtam Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. To all the Rupa Nurga Guru Varga, Vaishnav, past, present, and future, my most humble obeisances to you all. I am very grateful that Ajay Prabhu has put this program together. This is very inspiring. It is my test today, my examination test. Time has come.
This program was put by Vijay Krishna Prabhu. I am just following his orders. Vijay Krishna Prabhu started this program. Yes.
So we thank everyone on the link because this is most inspiring to remember Srila Gurudev, Sri Guru. But first, I'd like to remember my Srila Prabhupada. Actually, I never met my Prabhupada physically because I joined in 1977, January, and he left on 14 November 1977. 3 days before I got Harinam on his behalf, Bhagavan Das was the GBC that time. But my connection with Prabhupada was from the beginning when I got his books, the Krishna book number, pocket book of Krishna book. Immediately I could recollect, because bhakti is not from one life. We have some sukriti from past lives. So I guess some little sukriti was with me that immediately when I heard the Maha Mantra, immediately I could accept it and embrace it even. Because I never had gone to any temple, but alone I was chanting Harinam in Turkey, in Greece, on my guitar that time.
Didi, what were you doing before you met Prabhupada, before you heard his name?
Actually, I was doing interior decoration. I was in the school. Okay. But when I turned 18, I had some issue with my parents, and I just find myself in the street. So I decided that, okay, then it's over for that. So I will go to England and I will learn English. At least I will have something, I will have learned something. So I started and I became a hippie and I traveled. And it was in England that I came in touch with Bhagavad Gita and Harinam Mantra also, but not in a temple, from E.P. Baba, who told me everything. Then I went to travel myself and then I got the book, Krishna book in Istanbul, with all the painting inside. So then I was preaching to people, look at this spiritual world exists. We just have to find a way how to get there. Nobody's intelligent enough to concoct such a thing. This spiritual world exists. So then when I came back to Paris, I saw that book was number 2. And when people ask me, what is the goal of your life, I say, I want the number 1. I want the number 1 book. And then when I came back to France, to Paris, my friend gave me a beautiful Krishna book number 1, hardcover with golden trim, and it was the number 1. And then I thought, my God, Krishna knows my heart, he knows everything. So they gave me an invitation card and I just went to the temple after 1 week. Immediately I was home. When I opened the door of the temple, so much light, everyone was chanting Harinam, and that was my first introduction to the temple. And the next morning I came and it was Prabhupada Guru Puja.
Didi, one sec. Can you try to speak without the mic? I think it is getting little echo behind. Can you speak like, yeah, let's see.
Is it good like this? Krishna.
Can you
Is it
speak?
okay?
No, I think it's.
It's
Try your
not
mic
good?
only. I think it's better with the mic.
I
Just keep it little away, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So I put it little down, maybe like this.
No, you can put it on, but keep the microphone little away, probably. Yes. You can wear it,
It's
no
okay?
problem.
Acha.
Yeah, be comfortable, but yeah.
So anyway, the introduction to Krishna consciousness was through ISKCON. It was very powerful. By the grace of Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, my Prabhupada, he just saved us. He's our savior. And I was always very much in pain that I never had met with Prabhupada physically. He gave me some anubhuti, some very transcendental connection. And that's why I came to Gurudev. So when I came to Gurudev, I had absolutely no doubt that it was my Prabhupada who had sent me to Gurudev. And that's why I could surrender very easily to him. The first time I met him, so Shyamarani Didi was in ISKCON when I came in 93 during Kartik. And I was telling her, I really want to love Krishna, but I don't know how to do that. So she said, okay, she gave me the address and she said, you go there, Rupa Sanatana Gaudiya, you meet with Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj and you will see, maybe he can help you, but I cannot take you there because there is some politics. It was 93. So I went alone. I first went to Radhakam and I collected the garland of Rupa Goswami and the pera from Rupa Goswami, Mahaprasad. And I didn't know how close to the thing I was. So I came to Gurudev in Rupa Sanatana for the first time. He was in his old room upstairs next to the Seva Kunj. And so I went directly in his room and there was some GBC from ISKCON, Giraj Maharaj, there was some Danuda Maharaj. I mean, there was a group, but some way or other I came right to the bed. They pushed me and I was just at the feet of Gurudev. And I was calling him Maharaj that time, was the first time. So Gurudev was speaking about the Ras Leela. He was explaining why Shukadev Goswami didn't describe in details the Ras Leela. He was telling, of what I remember, he was telling that in the assembly of the Shruti, of the one who were listeners, they were all types. It was mixed, Mayavadi and so many mixtures. So Shukadev Goswami didn't describe the Ras Leela. And then after we heard that, because if Shukadev Goswami would have even said the name of Radharani once, he would have fainted for 6 months. So it was not possible because Parikshit Maharaj was having only 7 days to live. So what's happening is I told Maharaj, but anyway, in this Ras Leela, there was nothing immoral. Because when Brahma stole all the calf and Gopa, then Krishna manifested in all those gopis and they married. Actually, all those gopis who got married, they actually got married to Krishna indirectly. So I was telling Maharaj, so there's nothing immoral. They were just dancing again with their husband. And Gurudev was really surprised that I was telling this. He went like this, he bent down to me and he said, yes, I'm the one who told them that. No, the Jews. And I thought, oh, he's the one who told them, okay. And that was the first thing, but I didn't stay that I came, oh yes, I came another time and there was a beautiful drama of the Radhakam. The appearance of Radhakam, which was performed by the Guru Kuli of Vrindavan, of the ISKCON Vrindavan, because the Goridas, the in charge, the headmaster of the Gurukul, he is actually Gurudev's disciple. So to reciprocate with the kindness of Gurudev, because he was really an embodiment of love and affection and compassion to all, to reciprocate with him, he brought all those children and they performed this beautiful Radhakam Lila. And I always had in my heart that this question, that why is it, if even one blade of grass is fully satisfied in Golok Vrindavan, being with Krishna, how is it that anyone can fall from there to in this world full of misery, so much suffering? Because I had experienced also so much suffering. So I thought it doesn't make sense. If I was there happy, why I want to come here, to suffer? And nobody even, I was asking this question in ISKCON, but nobody was, oh, this is a big question, They could not give me any reply. But by the way, by Gurudev's mercy, because he was present during this drama of the Radhakam appearance, I didn't see any children. I actually saw the Leela happening. I saw only little gopis and gopals. I was completely transported. And when Gurudev went up in his room, in his old room, I fell on the ground and crying. I knew I was never there. I knew I was never there. That was the first realization that Gurudev gave me, that I was not coming from Golok Vrindavan, neither Vaikuntha. I was coming from the Tatastha Shakti. Jiv Swarupa Hoy Krishna Nityadas, Krishna Tatastha Shakti, Veda Veda Prakash. He was putting me in the truth, in the line of the truth. But I was not in Golok Vrindavan. So that was my first realization. But then after that, I went to Bhubaneswar. I was with Srila Gurudeva for 9 months. And then, but I would go to Puri and I met Gurudev in 94 again. And I met him in 95, but that time I surrendered to him. In 95, I fully surrendered. I knew it was actually him that I was looking for, and that I could have full faith in him. Because Prabhupada had given me this vision. He had given me the vision of, that painting of Prabhupada taking sannyas. Param Gurudev is sitting, and
Yes.
Prabhupada is behind, and Sanatana Muni Maharaj is behind.
Yes.
So in that vision that I had in 1992 in France, when I was really desperate, Prabhupada gave me this vision that he was sitting, and there were two sannyasi behind him. One was tall with a beard and jasma and glasses, and another one I didn't see very well. But Prabhupada, I was seeing him through the screen doors. And Prabhupada was reading his book. So he took out his glasses, he put it in the book and handed over to that tall sannyasi with beard and glasses. And then Prabhupada stood up and come to me, but that's my personal thing. But being after with Gurudev, after 2 years, I realized, oh my God, it took me some time. Oh my God, you were that tall sannyasi with beard and glasses that my Prabhupada indicated. He was giving me a hint. You'll find him there. The one who has my vision, the one who's going to teach you the Shastra, that's him. I am giving him the book and I'm giving him my glasses. So it was so vivid, I'm not faking it. It was so vivid. I was seeing it. And I never had seen this picture before. I didn't even know from who Prabhupada had taken sannyas because they were not telling us everything. It's gone.
So it was a dream, right?
I didn't know anything about Gurudev or Param Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvami Maharaj. I didn't know anything. So that's how coming to Gurudev. So that was a transcendental adventure, because every Gurudev was very spontaneous in his relationship with all his disciples, And he could even beat me with his danda. Devotees are telling me, Gurudev chastised you so many times. And beating you also, and fucking me with his danda. And Gurudev said, I remember one thing, he said, the only person that I can really chastise is the one I know is mine.
Yes.
Because he will never leave me. He said that the devotees come, disciples come, and if you say something wrong, good, they want to go. He said, but the one I chastise, I am heavy. Gurudev sometimes I would say, Gurudev, I have a question. Very good, very good. I would keep walking, completely ignoring me, you know. I was like, oh no, Gurudev, so many times. And when he knew I was crying, then he was happy. So, okay, if Gurudev was happy that I was crying, so, okay, that's perfect. Gurudev gave us this, like Bhakti Vinod Thakur described, his Manjari Seva is describing all this Nikunja Seva, everything he described in the books, in the songs. And Gurudev gave this to us through the paintings that Shyamarani, empowered Shyamarani did to paint this Seva Kunj. He gave us all the mood, all this Manjari Bhav. He was always telling, you can go to Govardhan, do the parikrama of Govardhan. But Govardhan can give everything, but you have to ask him only one thing. Radhika Dasyam. Radhika Dasyam, Radhika Dasyam. Nothing less than Radhika Dasyam. He might think, because this is very heavy, very elevated thing, and then he will put you some examination, he will test you that really you want that Radhika Dasyam or not. So Gurudev gave us this Namashrista Manumati Sachiputra Madraswarupa Rupam Tatyagrajam Gurupuri Maturim Gostavatrim Radhakundam Girivaram Hao Radhika Madhavasam Prapto Yasya Patita Kripaya Shigurum Tam Natutvi. In this shloka, in this pranam mantra, there is everything for Gurudev. He has given us absolutely everything. My Prabhupada had given me everything, and he gave me even more through Gurudev. So this is, for me, the condensed mercy of my Srila Prabhupada is in the form of Gurudev. Because without Gurudev, I would not have understood. I'm not understanding everything also because I'm a fallen soul. But this Braj Bhav is so exclusive. And we could see that Gurudev could start all the Harikatha, you know, Prahlad, Charitra, but he would always end up in Radhika, Radhika, Radhika. He was completely immersed in his relationship with Radharani. There was not a breath, even his eyes were blue. Radharani has blue eyes. So we can see that how close, that's only Radharani all the time for him. How he put us on this most magnificent, most merciful path of Rupa Bhajan. He made us discover and understand deeper Rupa Goswami. Sri Rupa Goswami Pad, starting by Rasamrita to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu to all these very, very deep Siddhanta of pure bhakti. Like Srivas Prabhu, you come here. Come. When Srivas Prabhu was small, Gurudev would make him say, Anya Vilasita Sunyam, Yana Karmadhyanu Vritam. You know, we can see him on video. This is the essence of Rupa Goswami's teaching, to really differentiate what is bhakti. And really, Gurudev appeared as the full moon in Moni Amavasya. When the world is so dark, there is no moon, there is complete darkness. Gurudev appeared as this full moon surrounded with so many stars, so many of his disciples who are really like extraordinary souls, extraordinary. We can see Shambhari Prabhu was with Gurudev so many years in Mathura Math. All those young brahmachari who joined Gurudev, who imbibe his mood, and we are completely heart to heart with him. You know, this is not an ordinary path at all. Ye bahut sudurlabh hai, bahut sudurlabh. Rupa Nuga Bhajan is extremely, extremely rare. Gurudev used to say, it's extremely rare. We have to be so focused, so ekamtika bhakti. Manjali Bhavarad, Unato Jola Rasam Swa Bhakti Shriya. Gurudev told when your Prabhupada Gauravani Pracharini, what is the meaning of that Gauravani? He always used to go so deep. So Aradyo, Vajesh, Tanayata, the Dham, Vrindavan, all these secret truths, secrets that Gurudev told us. Today is Ramanuja Acharya disappearance day. So Gurudev, I remember one class he said Rama Anuja. So that's it's Akanda Guru Tattva. It was Lakshmanji. So today I didn't know when I say okay 22, I didn't know it would fall on that day. But we can see that Gurudev started, he had Nishta in Ram Lila. He was always absorbed in Ram Lila and love and push, and he was having so much love for Ram until he heard Narottam Ananda Brahmachari and who spoke to him about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and at this moment he understood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually is his Ishtadev. But we can see that Akanda Guru Tattva, Sri Guru, like is Nidha is that Lakshman who didn't sleep for 14 years in the forest, serving Ram and Sita. And Gurudev, we have seen this, all this, he served Param Gurudev non-stop. Even when he was sick, he would serve Gurudev. Our Param Gurudev is such a he told Param Gurudev, he said, when he took initiation, he said, all my love and affection I had for my relatives, I am offering everything to your lotus feet. I am fully surrendered to your lotus feet. For him, there was no one but Param Gurudev, but his master, divine master. And until the last moment, he was only, he asked for, when he was in Delhi, he asked for the photo of Param Gurudev with the books. I know because Vrinda asked me to have it enlarged and framed. So he was always having the photo of Param Gurudev in front of him and a clock next to it. And he would look at both, you know. He was always only never wasting one moment in a service, and he has known how to melt the heart of Param Gurudev by doing this service when Ananga Mohan was very sick with TB, and Param Gurudev was helping him to when he was sick, and Gurudev told Guruji, you have so much preaching to do. Please, you go preaching and I will take care of Ananga Mohan. And it was Gurudev who took care of Ananga Mohan till the last breath, till his last, he even contracted the TB himself. The same thing when Prabhupada asked him, you please help me. He brought him to the Jaladuta, and then when he was in America, he said, you please send me all the books, all the kartals, all the Mridanga and the Murti, and Gurudev sent many times. I went to Delhi, there were so many books there, and it was so much full of dust, I became sick. But he has done his service. He sent all the books. He sent all the Radha Krishna Murti, the Bonita, the Mridanga, the Kartal, everything he was sending to Prabhupada abroad. And at last, when my Prabhupada was leaving the world, he asked him to come, and he said, with your own hand, I want you to put me in Samadhi. It's not ordinary because he had his elder god brother, but he gave that responsibility, that final responsibility to Gurudev. That shows how much faith he had, complete, because Gurudev had been completely dedicated to Prabhupada since 1947. He knew him, way before ISKCON was even started. So and Prabhupada had said, my affection for you is eternal. It can never be broken. We are eternally linked, So they know each other. Gurudev was a great poet also, and this is why I'm asking Srivas Prabhu to come and sing this Rajajamana Sukhakari Radhe. That would be nice for the devotees to hear.
Didi, we can sing at the end. Is it okay?
I was thinking we would sing the Ramani Siromani. You remember Gurudev loved that song so much.
Okay, I want to ask you one more thing. You said yes. Gurudev chastised you many times, right?
Yes.
So can you describe a few of the events, what happened and why chastised, and how it was?
Chastising me, actually. When you love someone, you cannot embrace, you just beat. And Gurudev asked me, he said, I want you to do Nam Sankirtan.
Okay.
So one day he called me in Mathura, and he said, Sasikala, I want you to do Mridanga and Kartal together. One hand Mridanga, one hand Kartal. And I looked at Gurudev and said, Gurudev, Mridanga or Kartal? And he said, no, one hand Mridanga, one hand Kartal.
Yes, you've been doing that for many years.
So he knew how to play a little bit like he's upset. And then finally it happened. I just tied my kartal on the middle one day. The first day I went on, and second on, my heart was just like pumping out of my chest. I was so scared. But
I think you followed that order for many years. You've been playing Mridang and Kartal together. I saw you.
Yes, that was Gurudev's instruction. And so I would do 3-4 hours Nam Sankirtan every day, the parikrama of Vrindavan, all the temples. But then people would fall at my feet. And then one day I said, I'm stopping this. I don't want Pratishta. So I hang up the Gurudev and Gurudev without telling Gurudev. And then one day I go to Mathura, and Gurudev looked at me and very like his eyes upset, and he went like this, Vedanga, and again you go around, do your Nam Sankirtan. And I understood I should not stop it, so okay. So he could get, a big chastisement I got one time. It was the Kartik, and my passport was just expiring that day. So the FRO officer, Vijay Kapil, that got initiated, by the way, after that, he told me on that day you must go to your embassy, French embassy, and get your passport clarified, So Gurudev was leaving to go to Madhuban with the bus, and I went to Gurudev's car and I said, I'm sorry, Gurudev, I'm going to Delhi. What? Going to Delhi? This is my parikrama. What will be my parikrama? Like, I said, Gurudev, I'm sorry. I don't have any choice. I have to go. Please excuse me. How can I excuse you? He was very grave. He was very upset. Anyhow, I left, and I don't tell you. I went to the embassy, nothing worked. I had to fill up some paper that I had to send to the post office, to France through the post office. I went to the post office, it was closed. Everything went wrong that day. And when I came back by the bus, I was so sick. Ajay, I was so sick. I was rolling on pen. I was laying down on the, at the end of the bus. I was laying down, holding my. I was so sick. I thought I'm leaving the body in a bus, to come back to Vrindavan. By magic, I reached Vrindavan. The class was just going on. So it was in Gopinath Bhavan. So after that, Gurudev goes and bless everybody. How are you? Like this. So he came to me and he looked at me and he said, how are you? And I understood, if I had been so sick, it's because he was not pleased that I'd gone. Yeah. And I said, as you wish, Gurudev.
So it's always good to follow Gurudev's orders, right?
Yes, I disobeyed.
Otherwise nothing works.
I disobeyed his order to stay and go with him in Parikrama, and then I got it right back. That was the first chastisement, heavy chastisement. So yeah, surrender is not easy. See, I had more faith in. I thought I have to follow the FRO officer more than my Gurudev that time. I made the wrong choice, and many times this is what we do. We make the wrong choice. Very unfortunately. So one time I'm going to tell you how Gurudev revealed his supernatural power. Very supernatural. It was Govardhan Puja, and that time we didn't have Gaudiya Mat. So we were staying on a Modi Bhavan, and in front we were going for the Abhishek and everything. So Gurudev at that time was doing the Abhishek on the Girajim, but on the upper platform. So Gurudev indicated me, come. So I climbed down and he gave me a lota. He gave me a lota of milk to give to Giraji on the side. So at that moment, when I came to give him back the lota and I want to offer my pranam to him, to thank him, he grabbed me, literally, he grabbed me by my back and he threw me over all the devotees, and I was like flying and going. I could not believe how Gurudev could have, like an eagle, like Garud, catching. He was so bad. That time there is a video of him putting his turban like this, It was, I think he was in a Balaram mood or something. He was so powerful. I thought, my God, Gurudev. And I looked at him like, what happened? I could not believe it. So this is one instance like this. And another instance, so I knew that he was Antaryami, is because I was going through something and I needed to have a connection with him. I needed to know for sure that we were connected, heart to heart. So there was his room downstairs in Mathura, his downstairs room. So it was about 3 o'clock and I went in the afternoon. So I went in front of his room. I offered pranam and I said to him, if you really know that I'm here, begging for your mercy, please give me a sign. And he opened the door like this. Immediately. I mean, it was just like, wow, yes, that was incredible for me. I just fell flat, on his feet, and because he had given me the sign that he knew, he had accepted me, and he knew what was in my heart, and he knew when I needed him, like a mother needs some, some personal relation. And many years after, when he was in his room upstairs, in his new room in Mathura, same thing. I really needed to meet him. I don't know why, I don't remember. But again, I went at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was sitting in front of, his room there, and you sit on the floor opposite. So I was sitting on the other side, I know, of the, yeah. And then I was telling him the same thing. I really need to see you. I really need to know that everything is okay. Or I don't know what it. Immediately the same thing. Gurudev opened his door, came out, he looked at me, and he went back in his room.
Wow.
So
whenever you call him, he comes out for you immediately.
There were those 2 times that carried me all those years when it was not easy. I had asked him, Gurudev, I want to gallop in my spiritual life. And I didn't need to ask him twice. He really, really put me on galloping mode. And it's not been easy. There were a lot of challenges, a lot of examination, a lot of many things, many things. And I would have quit. I would have quit if I didn't have the love and affection and that strong vishwas, this strong faith that Gurudev was a pure devotee and he was sent by Prabhupada and he was here to help me to reach my goal. I would have quit because first, I never liked the heat. So you can imagine 50 degrees. I don't like and many years I had only one conker. I didn't have money to buy one cooler. Huh? Now I have AC. I'm a 5-star. But I did my tapasya, Baba.
Now you're Pakka Bharatvasi, Indian. You're not going to leave anywhere. You got AC now.
Now I got AC. But I don't like, for me, everything spiritual is here, but materially speaking, I don't like people speaking in the street and dirty and stuff. Paris, I was from Paris, Baba. Prabhupada said this is the most beautiful city of the world. So clean, you can, fashion and everything, perfume, and you come in India, and it was a culture shock. Actually, when I came only for 6 months. I was coming to get the mukut and the dress for Radha Parishishwar in Paris. But in between, I met with Gurudev, so I didn't know who was going to steal my heart. And there I am. I never went back.
If you meet Gurudev once, you're gone forever.
Yeah, he put my heart in his pocket. Yes. He makes sure that he put something on top that I wouldn't jump out.
Then you forget your mukut, forget your dress.
Most of the devotees, all the devotees, all his aspiring disciples, really, if they stayed on that path, it's just because of his love. Sometimes you sit down that way is very good, but sometimes it goes over the head, we are ladies. I'm not a Sanskriti or I'm not a scholar. I know some shloka, of course. I understand the tattva to some extent because I'm a conditioned soul. But what kept us was how personal it was with every one of us. I remember when the first parikrama started, he was telling all the devotees, if you have any problem, you come to me. He was open. He was giving himself completely sacrificing his own bhajan. And when he used to preach also in Western countries, he used to say, I have sacrificed my Vrindavan. I was doing my bhajan and I'm coming for you. And if you're not interested, I'm going back. If you're not interested to follow why I should sacrifice, So he traveled till the last moment. Even Russia and Germany, Italy, in 2010, it was terrible. His health was so terrible. But he still went to fulfill the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if we understand the value of what he has given us, free. He told many times, he said, now you don't understand what I've given you. When I'll be gone, then you'll start to understand. Then you will repent. Oh, So our Gurudev was a Mahabhagavad, is a Mahabhagavat, Mahapurush. More than that, he's a Nitya Parikar of Radha and Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he made himself so accessible to all. That's why he has this name Narayana, one who gives shelter to every living entity. He told, if your Prabhupada send me even a dog to help, I will help. I will help that dog. And I always considered that there was a little doggy of my Prabhupada that he sent me, to Gurudev to look after me. What I can say.
Would you like to describe some of the incidents which were challenging? Like you said, I was about to leave. Yeah.
Sometimes you see, before I came, I was head pujari in Paris. So I was waking up the takochi, I was dressing them. Then after that, I would go and open the preaching center in Paris. I was very much engaged that time. I was very happy in my service to my Prabhupada. I was very happy. And sometimes I would feel that except for non-Sankirtan, I had nothing to do. Really less consistent, I can say. And I was suffering. I suffered a lot. Physically, I suffered hell. I had many operations, and it's just like a lot of purification, and always accepted, and I was always grateful for what I went through. But sometimes it was going above. I felt like I've reached the limit. I cannot stay here anymore. The crowd, the shouting, and Gurudev was not here. He would go 6 months abroad. First time he went to France, I was not with him even. I was never with him because I had no money. I was not planning to stay. And Gurudev gave one of the first instructions he gave me. The first instruction he said, I want you to be strong like a mountain. That was the first instruction he gave me. And the second instruction was, I don't want you to collect money. I want you to collect harinam. Wow. So there you are. Sometimes I was having 15 rupees in my pocket. That I was one of the biggest collectors in ISKCON in Paris. If I wanted money, I could have money. It was not a problem, So it was a choice. I made the choice to stay with Gurudev because of him, because I felt that he was putting me on the path of absolute truth, and he could give me what my Swarup is inquiring for. My Nitya Swarup, myself, the soul. Yeah. So he knew who I am truly, and is ready to make me who I am. And then he said one day to me, he said, you have not gone to Golok yet? 2 times he told me, you have not gone to Golok yet? Like if you was throwing me there. Gurudev, I said, because I had by his grace, some quite amazing experiences while I was doing my non-Sankirtan. So one day I said, Gurudev, I'm not of this world, but I'm not there. I'm in between. So what to do now? And Gurudev was joking mood. He said, no problem. Sometimes you can look down and sometimes you can look up.
Yeah.
So, I had this type of relationship with Gurudev that sometimes I was not really in my body also. It was like really transported by his being in his presence. I remember for Guru Puja, like Guru Purnima, we would go to Anandadam, and one time we were entering that big temple of Anandadam, in Vrindavan. Mr. Swarupi has made this temple, Anandadam.
Anandam, yes, he would go there.
So he was having the Guru Purnima there also, after Mathura.
Yes.
Literally, bro, I am not lying at all. When we followed Gurudev behind, I felt like I'm entering Vaikuntha. I was not grounded. How can I express to you this? I was not grounded. It was like, shh. It was an amazing experience. This is how I developed more and more faith, and Gurudev wasn't an ordinary person. He would joke, he can be very, but he was not at all ordinary person. Completely transcendental personality, who accepts the role of a Madhyama Uttam in this world just to rescue us, but he's eternally situated there. Oh, you know, one time I asked him, I said, Gurudev, when I am cooking, are you coming? You know the story of Sachimata, that sometimes Mahaprabhu comes and eats when Sachimata is cooked. And Sachimata says, have I cooked or not? So I had this question as a Gurudev, when I'm cooking, do you come sometime? And Gurudev replied, if you make it beautiful, I will come.
Wow.
So there were different level of sometimes very grounded, very sometimes, you know, like so many things with Gurudev. It was a festival after festival of happiness, of transcendental experiences, of so many things. We cannot even start talking about it, you know, because it's unended and it still continues. Of course, we are missing his presence very much. Like child wants always to be with. But he's with us. He said, I'm closer to you than the air that you breathe. So he has not left. He has not left us, but because I'm not on that level, I wish he could be here. Sometimes he would climb up the stairs in Mathura and his chadar would be on the ground. So I would pick up his chadar and he was like holding it until he, you know, all these little things, these little personal seva. Which were nothing, but which was everything for me in this relationship. I'm sorry. He has given us everything. He has given himself also as a mantra in our heart. He has given us everything. And I feel I cannot give anything back, you know. I can only try, but I'm so insignificant. I'm so insignificant. I just pray that he may forgive me for my countless aparad, my countless fall, you know, like I'm so much lacking of everything. I should be so much higher for what he has given me. I should have been so much higher up, you know, like up to the mark, and I don't feel I'm there. I'm struggling with my, you know, like sadhana and stuff like this. And I can only know that only his love will save me, not for what I can do. And he has this equal love for all his disciples. Whoever came to him, he has this equal love.
Yes. He has love for everybody. Even if you're not his disciple and you just remember him, he will respond to you.
So much, you know, I felt one time Elihu, one time the Elihu inspector in charge of the FRO Elihu in Mathura.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Radha Mohan, or Madan Mohan or something like this. So I was preaching to them and I said, would you like to meet with my Gurudev? He said, yes, I will bring my wife. So I brought them. I told Maharaj, Madam Maharaj, that I'm coming with this inspector. He was the highest inspector, actually, of the, time is short. But then you know what happened? Madam Marsh came and said, please, can you wait a little bit? Because Gurudev is busy something. I said, yes, of course. So we waited for 20 minutes. Then Madam Marsh let us in, and Gurudev was on a drip.
Oh.
He was having a drip. He was laying down having a drip. And I was like devastated. I thought, my God, if I knew, I would not have brought him. I would not have brought this person now. When he's such a condition, you see, Gurudev was just sacrificing his own self. And because he was having love and affection for all, and he was worried for his foreigner disciples, that they should have visa and not travel for when they are a little late or something. Then he was making, you know, the LIU officer and FRO officer, they got initiated. But they initiated the whole family, which I can feel his father, his wife, the mother, everyone got. Wow. And for some years, all the devotees were okay. They were a little late for visa. There was always like some reconciliation, you know.
So Gurudev gave initiation while he was having a drip, right?
No, Gurudev didn't give initiation. He gave darshan to those people.
Okay. Later they got initiated.
Yeah, he didn't give initiation on it.
Okay.
But still he gave the darshan because he wanted to make sure that the connection is good with FRO and for his disciple, not for himself. Yes. And I understood it, and I thought, I repented. I thought, oh my God! I said, if I knew Gurudev was like this, I would not have brought them today. But anyway, so it's to show how Gurudev. He was the embodiment of Krishna Prem, of Radharani Kripa, compassion, complete compassion. Karunamoy, he was Param Karun even, Param Karun. He would save anyone, anyone coming to him sincerely. We are missing very much this great Vaishnava, Param Vaishnava, Bhagavat Mahapurush, our Srila Gurudev, who gave his heart to us also. But he has not forgotten. Actually, he's waiting for us. One day he told to Vrindavan Vilasini, he said, I want us to all go back in a group. You know, it's very important when using Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. It's not a joke. Whatever, even Gurudev sometimes he can joke, but there is always something true inside. There is something which has eternal value because it's coming from this transcendental personality. So when he said, I want us to all go back in the group, it's really significant that if we make the effort till the last breath, he's waiting for us there. He's waiting. Yes. True. So that's why we have to fix our mind. Radhika Dasyam, Radhika Dasyam. And first, Guru Dasyam, Guru Nishtha is the backbone of bhakti, is to say, be loyal to your Gurudev. Why going here and there? We can take sadhu sangha, but why surrendering here and there? No need. He's here. I remember the last time in Delhi. Ramachandra Prabhu told him, we need you, we still need you, we need to hear from you. And Gurudev said, it was on Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gurudev said, I remember I was there. Gurudev said, I have given everything. There's nothing less, nothing more to be given. If you want to hear, you hear my debt. If you want to know more, you read my books. Everything has been given, meaning you can, and I remember I was crying. I said, please don't leave us. You know, I feel I'm not ready. I'm not ready for, you know, that you're going to leave us. I'm not ready for it. It was the last Janmastami, the last Radhastami, you know, in Delhi, in Janakpuri, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So those moments are eternally in our heart. we can just remember and cherish them and pray always, Yasya Prasad Bhagavat Prasad, Yasya Prasad Nagati Kutupi, Swayam Suvam Sasyam Yasya Trisandhyam, Vande Guru Shri Charana Ravindam. We have to pray for his mercy upon us. So we can have some question now?
Yes, okay.
Do you have any more questions?
Thank you, Didi, for speaking so nicely. I really liked that you started preaching in the very beginning, the moment you had Krishna book and you started preaching. So that was really wonderful that you were so new and you were preaching straight away. And then one thing you said, which really touched me, is if you want Krishna's love, then go meet Narayana Maharaj. So that is a fact. If anybody out here who is listening and who has not met, who don't know about Maharaj, if you want Krishna's love, then you just remember Narayana Maharaj or read his books or listen to his lectures. It will come automatically because he is embodiment of Krishna's love, which is really good.
Absolutely.
And then you also said very nice that he gave us Rupa Goswami, because otherwise we would not have known who Rupa Goswami is. He was so much attached to Rupa Goswami, and he would celebrate his tithi for 3 continuous days, and he will call all the learned scholars of the Dham, Vrindavan, and Mathura. So that was his, that he gave Rupa Goswami to all of us. Then you explained about Tatastha Shakti, which has been discussed a lot of times. A lot of misconception he cleared. And another very important thing you said, that he always had his Gurudev and clock in front of him. This is really, I think, important for all of us to have our Gurudev, which is our backbone of bhakti, and clock is not to waste time. We become aware of the time, that is, time is so, so precious, most precious thing that we have, which has been given by God, and which is we have got free of cost actually. But it is so expensive that we cannot buy even 1 second. If your death is coming, you cannot extend even by 1 second. So each time, the time has to be used very carefully. So clock and Gurudev, like he used to always keep in front of him, we can learn in our lives also. We can be like that. We can be aware of time and keep Gurudev always in front of us. Then you said surrender is not easy. Yes, I totally agree with you. There are a lot of tests on the path. You also faced a lot of tests. You learned that how in Parikrama you went for passport and nothing worked. If Gurudev says something, just follow it. We should not think about anything else. Because if you think that somebody else will help you or you will get some from somewhere else, it is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Sorry. So when Gurudev says, that is what a disciple has to do immediately without any consideration. That is in the best interest of you. If he says you stay in Parikrama, you stay in Parikrama, that's it. Because nothing else will work. You just saw it how nothing worked and you came back sick, worse than what you were before. So that is a very interesting thing you talked about. And what other thing said, if you call him, he responds. If like 2 times you went to his door and you were calling him and he opened the door immediately. Even now, if some of the devotees or anybody in the world who calls Gurudev from his heart, he will respond. He will give you some response in some way in your heart or maybe in your surroundings. So we need to connect to him. Only the calling has to be from our side. If we the inquiry has to be from our side. Then yeah, that is also very interesting. You said he came India only for 6 months and you just came to get mukut and dress, and you and you forgot about mukut and dress and you got entangled with Narayana Maharaj. You gave your life to him. That is so cute. Like that's how this has happened with many people I've heard. They just come for something else and then they see Maharaj and his loving exchange, and they forget everything else and they stay with him. So you stayed here forever, and just for 6 months you thought you will come and take your mukut and go back. So it is very nice. And Gurudev was very personal, you said. Yes, he was always very personal with all of his disciples. I remember he would ask me about my sister, about her service, about my brother. He knew about, I don't know how he knew about everybody, and he remembered what everybody's doing. What everybody's problem is, he would ask about those problems every time he met me. And imagine he's meeting so many people all over the world, and when he will come back to India, and he'll ask me about that problem. How is it? Is it everything is fine? So he was very personal with everybody. That's what touched everybody's heart, that he loved everyone so much. And then last thing you said, Gurudev was on a trip and still he gave darshan. He is so merciful. You said one reason you said that maybe he wanted your relation to be good with the officer, but there could be another reason also, because he knows that officers past, present, and future also, and he knows that he's coming to him through you, and he wants to give his mercy to him. So yes, he is very merciful. Anybody comes to him, he makes his utmost endeavor. Even he goes out of his way to give him darshan. I've seen it so many times. He's not well, he's on drip, and still he will open his heart and let everybody come in. So really, really very nice, Didi. Thank you so much for your wonderful offerings and remembrance.
Thanks to have invited me.
Sorry?
And share this. I'm sorry I could not speak in English.
No, it's fine.
That is
बहुत अच्छा बोला आपने, फिर भी जितना बोला बहुत सुंदर.
I can understand you though.
Okay, now we can have Kirtan.
Shivas
is going to sing? Yes.
We will sing Brajajana Para.
Okay, okay.
Oh, he's sitting there. I don't know. You cannot do this. Come, it will go.
Is he around?
He said he has a stomachache. He's not going to want to speak. He doesn't want to sing.
If you want, you can sing also.
Yeah, I'm just not very. Can I choose another? Gurudev always used to say, do you remember, do you know the song that your Prabhupada loved the most? There was Goranga Bulite Habe and the Krishna Pranamur.
Okay.
So, because Rajajana Manasukakare is too difficult for me.
Where is your Mradanga? You hanged it on the wall? I thought you will get the Mradanga and Kartal together today.
You cannot play my Nangato. Look, it's without instrument. I'm just from the core heart. I'm going to sing that.
Okay.
Goranga Bolite Abe. It is very soon Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day. So
yes,
it will be. Jai Gurudev. Goranga Bolite Habe. Ulaka Sarira Hari Hari Boli Dinam Yane Bagvenira Haraka Benita Chade Karuna Samsara Vasana Mura Kabe Tuchabe Vishaya Chaliya Kabe Shudaha Bimana Kabe Hamahe Rava Shri Vrindavan Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hama Puja Vase Yugala Piriti Rupa Raghunatha Pade Raumora Pratana बोली जय हरे पुलका शरीरा हरि हरि बोलित नायने बाबे मीरा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राधे राधे मदन मोहन राधे 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 मदन मोहन राधे 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 गोविंदा गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोपीनाथ राधे 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 गोपीनाथ राधे 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 दामोदर राधे 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 दामोदर राधे 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 श्यामा सुंदर राधे 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 श्यामा सुंदर राधे 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 गिरिधारी राधे 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 गिरिधारी राधे 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 विनोद बिहारी राधे 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 विनोद बिहारी राधे 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 रमन बिहारी राधा रमन बिहारी राधे 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 रमन बिहारी राधे 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 राधा माधव राधे 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 राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे राधे राधा रमन राधे 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 राधा रमन राधा रमन राधे राधे गोकुलानंद राधे 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 गोकुलानंद राधे 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 राधा वल्लभ राधे 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 राधा वल्लभ राधे 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 राधा कमता राधे 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 राधा कमता राधे 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 कुंज बिहारी राधे राधे कुंज बिहारी राधे Radhe Radhe Rasa Bihari, Rasa Bihari Radhe, Radhe Radhe Rasa Bihari, Rasa Bihari Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Parampara, Jaya Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Jaya Guru Parampara, Jaya Sat Goswami Padre, Jaya Sat Goswami Padre, Sat Goswami Padre, Jaya Sat Goswami Padre, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur.
Nande Hari Hari Bol.
Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami
Goswami
Maharaj
Maharaj
Srila
ki
Gurudev ki.
jai. So beautiful, Didi. You drowned us in ocean of rasa.
Can we
And
speak of Vrindavan?
and you reminded us of all the Thakurji in Vrindavan. You took us to all the temples.
All of them.
Not only Thakurji, but you also
anyone.
you took us to all the Goswamis and Vaishnavas everywhere. Nothing is left now. So nice.
Thank you so very much, Babuji. And any fault, any lacking, you please forgive me.
So beautiful. Thank you so much, so much. It was really pleasure and listening to you today and remembering Gurudeva, also remembering all the Thakurjis of Vrindavan and all the Brajavasis and Goswamis of Vrindavan because of you. Thank you so much.
And I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all my God brothers, God sisters, who are by their inspiration, by this service mood, are always keeping me on track of Guru Seva.
Thank you. Thank
So
you, Didi.
for me, you are all very, very important in my life. You are
Yes.
like sprinkle of Gurudev's mercy.
Yes, all God brothers, God sisters, so important to all of us because that's how we keep going, all of us. We take each other's support and we move in a group. If we are alone, then we cannot. We will divert. So it's so important to take everybody's support. Thank you so much, Didi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tomorrow we'll have one more exalted Vaishnav, our Guru Bhai, Mukunda Prabhu from ISKCON. He is from ISKCON, Mukunda Prabhu.
Yes. Head Pujari.
Yes, Head Pujari and his family. They're going to speak. They're going to be with us tomorrow. So it will be another very, very interesting session. And before I close, I would like to say Jai Dhvani. Jai Shri Guru Gaurangandharika Giridhari Shri Radha Bihari Ji ki Jai. Radha Ramana Ji ki Jai. नित्यलीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। रूपानु गुरु वर्ग की जय। वृंदावन नवदीप धाम की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। संवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। शशिकला दीदी की जय। सब श्री गुरुदेव मधुर स्मृतियां कार्यक्रम की जय। कार्यक्रम पालन करे भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। Jai Gurudev. Yeah, you can do Bangla style.